Now when it comes to creating sections or elevations, you will see that we're using exactly the same command. So on my left hand side under bold, we go down to the sub column and you see there's a vertical section. First of all, I would advise go to a top view because there's more than one way to create elevation. It can be perpendicular, or we can make use of a step, or we can look at it at an odd angle from the side. So I'm going to show you all three of them. So the first one is going to be perpendicular one to your building. So on my left hand side, I'm going to say vertical section. I'm going to make use of the quick section. As I click on the command, Carrie will ask us, indicate section profile. Section height is 10,000, option end to end. Now, because I know this is a single story, it's within my limitation of 10,000. So I'm going to indicate the start point. Now, take note that I start my section line on the outside of my building. If I'm going to start in the middle, it will not recognize the content on the outside. So then you'll have only half of your elevation. So always start on the outside. And now I would like to keep it horizontal. So I can hold down my tab key on my keyboard and I can make sure I go past the last object. So I'm going to left click. And now Carrie asks us indicate section profile. That means if I want to go to a step, I don't want to go in a step. It's only the first point and the last point I'm going to indicate. E for end. And Carrie asks us indicate section extent. So I would like to look all the way up to the end. It can be that for some scenarios you only want to see up to the first portion of your model or up to half of your model. I would like to see my whole model from this direction. Carrie asks us then indicate position for section. And I can place my section. And as you can see, there's my section. Now I'm going to show you that when it comes to a step, that's more applicable when it comes to a section itself. So I'm going to say vertical section, quick section, and Carrie asks us the same question, indicate section profile. So I'm going to use this polyline as a profile, indicate the start point. As you can see, I start on the outside of my model. You can hold down your tab key, or I can use this polyline as a reference, snap to the points of the polyline, E for end, and then Carrie asks us once again, indicate section extent. I want to look into the front or to the back. In this case, I would like to look to the back. And Carrie asks us, indicate position for section. And I'm going to place my section over there. Alright, and as you can see, there it shows it cuts through my walls. And that makes it different from the elevation. So now I'm going to show you the third option, that this may be at an odd angle. Quick section. I'm going to watch it from, let's say, this angle, something like this. Odd angle. E for end. Okay, they ask us, what is the extent? And I place my elevation. Now you will see that each and every elevation is a link to your model. So if I click on the elevation or the section, you will always have a control point, a grip point. So you can reposition your elevation or your section at any stage. You'll also notice now that if I go back to my model, now I can make use of shift and left key, or I can make use of my orbit command, is that now you will get what we call the boundary boxes of each and every section. Now, remember what I said earlier, the first time we used the command, it was set to 10,000. So as soon as I select the boundary box, you will see that you will have grip points that you can extend it if you want to increase or decrease the height of your elevation or your section. So all three of my elevation sections is done with the same height, and each one give you exact preview of what it covers in that particular view. Now I'm going to show to you that any changes that you're going to make in your model will refresh your section or your elevation, then it will update automatically. Now on my model itself, here on the left hand side, you will see that there's two windows. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete one of those two. Now you can see on this first elevation, you can see that first window over here and the first window over there. So what I'm going to show now is how to update your existing elevations or your sections if you make a change to your model. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to select this window and the sill, and I'm going to delete that. There's the window and I've deleted it. So at the moment, if I go back to my top view, you will notice that it did not update my elevation or my section. So I can press R on the keyboard for regen, it will not update. That's why we do have a specific command to update your elevations or your section. So first I'm going to show you that you can update one individual one only, or you can ask it to update all of them. So I'm just going to update the one first. So I'm going to select the one, I'm going to right click and I'm going to ask it section, and I'm going to ask it to refresh section. Have a look and see what's going to happen with that first window. And it updated. So it updated the particular elevation. It didn't update the one at the bottom. Either you can go manually, right click, go to section and ask it to refresh section, or if you want to update all your elevations on your sections at the same time, then you can ask it regenerate all sections. So this one I'm going to introduce to you now. I first going to show you that in this model I do have some foundations. So at the moment it doesn't display the foundations. So if I just orbit it like that, as you can see there's no foundations at the moment because my layers are switched off. So I'm going to say all layers. So there's my foundations. So my foundations is applicable to all my walls. It's part of my wall style. So I'm going to go top view, but I only want to see the foundations in my first section that I did and not on my elevations itself. Now I'm going to show you that because all my section boxes, my elevation box, my section box, they all have the same height, and that will be 0. It starts from 0. So what we're going to do is now I'm going to show to you that I'm going to select my section box. Now this was this one. Now you will see there's an option that says lower the extension. So I'm going to click on the down arrow and I'm going to extend it. I can be more specific and type in a distance, but I just want it to be displayed below my foundations, and at the moment it's dragged below my foundations. So now if I go top view and I'm going to ask it regen all my elevations. So I'm going to say right click section, regenerate all sections. You will see that two things will happen. First of all, the other window here at the bottom should disappear and the top section will display the foundations. And that is what just happened, as you can see. Remember the first time we only update the one elevation, so that's why this elevation was up to date. Now that I've asked it to regenerate all my sections, it added my foundations to my section that I want, and it also updated the elevation where I've deleted the window. You can also filter in the objects when creating a section or an elevation. Because as you notice over here, the elevations that we've created, you can see that there's some stuff in front of my wall. And let me just show you where they are. You can see at the front. I'm going to zoom in. Now some of them are circles. So if I select the circle, you can see, can you confirm that's a polyline. Some of it is a hatch. You can see that is a hatch. So what I'm going to do is now, we're going to create the same elevation from the front, but I'm going to ask it to exclude the line and the hatch. So the same command, we go to build, in a subcolumn down to vertical section, quick section, do exactly the same, indicate the start point. Now it doesn't matter if you go from left to right or right to left, just keep in mind you have to keep it horizontal. And now before you're going to say E for end, in the command line, can you ask us, indicate section profile, option end to end, or change excluded objects. So I'm going to press X to add exclusions. And now can you ask us, what do I want to exclude? In this case, I know there's arcs and circles involved, there's hatches involved, and there's also lines and polylines on that one wall. So I'm going to say OK. And now can you ask us, indicate section profile, E for end. I'm going to indicate my model, and I'm going to indicate the new elevation. And as you can see, we compare these two. Let's take this one next to it. Now you can see the exclusion is applicable to my new elevation. It did exclude the circles, the hatch, and the polylines.